Hello. Oh God, I wish I didn't start that way. Welcome. This is my second video talking about listening to every Rush album in a row, from the very first one. And I've always been a Rush fan, but there's probably more intense Rush fans that would say, no, you're not, because you haven't heard this album and this album and this album. So really, it comes down to I've heard 4 or 5 records a bunch, and then almost nothing of everything else, which is a lot of their catalog. So I'm going through each album. So this morning I thought I was going to be super cool, and I put on a rain jacket because it's raining. It was too wet for my dogs to go outside, and I was like, I'm going to put on this rain jacket and I'm going to listen to Fly By Night because the cover is so spooky and there's an owl and it's like nighttime, and I was immediately disappointed by how still Zeppelin-y the music sounds. And I was like cold and wet, and I was just like, fuck. And so I turned around and I went home and I listened to the rest of it on my warm couch. And I was basically disappointed until track 4. And there's a song called By-Tor and the Snow Dog. And I was like, okay, this is Rush now, because By-Tor is weird as fuck. They say By-Tor, or I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's very like, okay, we're in Prague territory, very fun. Snow Dog, I don't know what the fuck it means. If the lyrics don't make sense, it's good prog. So I enjoyed the song, and then I was pleased that the song that I liked the most was 9 minutes. And I was like, okay, this is good. And then it went to this instrumental section. And then, of course, it was like, pa, 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 pa. And I was like, okay, they're Rush now. All they needed was a drummer that challenges them to play. Maybe there's a nerd out there that can count some of that stuff, like Spirit of Radio. I think they just decided where to put hits, and it's not musically, doesn't make any sense. It's just, you just, and everyone knows when to play. That's my theory. So I was like, okay, it's Rush now. Great. Love the bass tone change, from clean to Geddy grit, I said, because he sounded like P bass, and then all of a sudden, during a guitar solo, he like turned on some pedal or something, and it sounded like Geddy grit. I liked that. Also, I said that it sounds like they're played with the panning. So it sounds like in the studio when they're mixing it, they like made some things go into your right ear and some things go into your left, and it was kind of fucks with you, especially in that song, the By-Tor. I'm really talking about By-Tor because it's like the only song that I really connected to. I liked Fly By Night. That's a cool song, but it's fine. Making Memories ends with a guitar solo, and then all of the other instruments fade out, but the guitar solo continues. That was cool. Still, most of the record is fine. It's fine. And then Rivendell, which is this like gorgeous ballad with amazing clean vocals and classical guitar. And I kept getting nervous the whole song that they were going to break out into hard rock and it would just ruin it. And then it didn't happen, and I was so thankful. And then it ended on kind of like a bummer song. So I agree with Ian Allison to an extent that some of the early stuff is a little bit of a bummer, but I have some major disagreements with him that I will get into in later episodes.